Curiosity got me to go along and see what Jah Wobble's tuned in thing was doing at Wimbledon Library. As I'm not really much of a playing musician, I tuned in playing the tambourine. First rock gig performance at the age of 74.
First session was January 2019. Wobble had this really great concept about a music and wellbeing project.
I just thought, well, before I get too old, you have these ambitions. I thought I'd like to start something, some project, some organisation that does good in some way, and that you start something that has an energy that involves other people. And I thought, what would that be? And the obvious one is, because I've had addiction issues, was to do something on addiction or something, you know. And I thought that's too easy. There's so many things with addiction, and I thought more interesting to look at what one of the main things that lies behind addiction, real root causes, and loneliness is such a cause of unhappiness, and it gets quite deep. And I thought, okay, let's have a crack at loneliness, and how would I do that? And I had a word with Anthony Hopkins from Merton Council, who's my friend, and just whinged to him a little bit about it. I really wasn't pitching the idea to him. I was looking for advice.
I said, well, this is a great idea. And I've got some ideas around things that we could do within Merton, and different funding streams we could apply for to invest to be able to develop the project.
So then I'm not sure of the details, but it was Anthony meeting John, aka Jah Wobble, that led to the idea of Tuned In happening. So I don't know what was in whose mind first, but I know that they were both kind of looking into doing some kind of project involving community music.
Knew John from doing a show at Whitechapel Library, and we did a show at Merton Art Space where I levitated. We had magician staff, and my dog Tyson come and we did a play down here as well as a set, and Tyson raided the after show buffet and ate it all. So that went on.
From those initial ideas, we applied for some funding. We obviously invest in all the kit that we have and all the equipment that we use each week.
So we built a little lock-up cupboard. We bought a load of backline, drums, a couple of guitar amps, keyboard, and kind of scrounged various other bits and pieces.
Within a matter of weeks of me talking to Anthony, we opened the doors, put leaflets out, this, that, and the other, and slowly but surely it grew.
At the end, if you want, you can follow me and go boom, 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 like double time.
I can't stay too late tonight. Let's try and do it.
Yeah, sure. Let's
People who are sometimes challenged or lonely or just wanting to play an instrument, they come to Tuned In every 2 weeks just to get rid of a little of life's anxiety and just enjoy it. And it's a really beautiful situation.
I was in a couple of different bands, signed to labels, which is great, but it all went a bit pear-shaped, so I gave it a complete rest. So this is the first time I've got back involved with playing with some groovy musicians. So it's good. It's good medicine for the soul.
market that we targeted in those, initially I targeted, was old men, because I knew lots of blokes who were getting older and isolated and drinking too much and feeling lonely. And blokes are much less likely, I think, than women to seek help or be social. You know, they're much more likely just to be isolated. They find it harder to talk about feelings, without doubt.
I came across Tuned In from my wife. She knows that I'm an epic music lover, and she thought this would be absolutely perfect for me. And I was a bit hesitant at first. I thought, oh, is it going to be a bunch of strange people? Am I going to get on with everyone? Is this going to be really hard work? And I came down, first of all, to one of the songwriting sessions that Jar Wobble and John Klein do on a Tuesday, which you book in for. And that was the most wonderful experience.
Okay, this is the first time I'd like to say this. Jim on drums has never played these two songs with us before at all. We haven't rehearsed it, we haven't sound checked it, but we have faith.
The whole purpose behind the Tuned In sessions, it's about supporting people with mental health, it's about supporting people who are lonely, and it is like a club. My background is from working in mental health. I've been on both sides of it. I've gone through counselling, I've gone through episodes of depression and anxiety myself, and I've also a qualified counsellor, and I've worked for people like Mind and homeless charities such as Broadway. So I know the ins and outs of it, I totally understand, and I think that's why it's such a well-worth experience coming down here every other week and coming for a jam session. Incidentally, that actually reminds me that I need to book in for the next recording session because I haven't actually done that yet.
I came to know this place actually through a drummer friend of mine, Alan, who told me all about it and said, you need to come down and you need to get out because you stay in the house all the time, which is true. It's nice when you find somewhere where you actually enjoy the people and you like the people, you like the blend, you like what's going on. It's nice, it's refreshing. And it's all about energy for me, so if we're putting out good energy and we're receiving it back, and yeah, I like that.
The phase 2 of the operation was then to build a little recording studio, because the physical space behind that hall was also up for grabs, and we thought, in terms of a creative project, it would be nice to be able to do potentially teaching or workshops, where we do production or songwriting. We've been running little production / songwriting sessions where we earmark 2 hours, maybe they'll go on for 2.5 hours. But we basically start making pieces of music from scratch. Really quite surprising what level of music we've been able to kind of achieve, really from the ground up.
In this time of disarray, which traps you there far away across an ocean deep and wide, but we'll come through the other side.
Sing together in tune. Sing together in tune.
We do think more, remember the things we used to ignore. Scream of traffic, don't ring so deaf no more. Step out the door, noticing more and more. Looking around, reassure. Pick my head up from the floor. Or, at times alone, in the home within 4 walls.
Sing together in tune.
Just finding ways to work where we can generate and evolve ideas really super quickly. So that's been really, really interesting. We try and make them democratic, so everyone agrees with decisions that have been made, and it's quite amazing what's been possible.
Because things are gonna move.
Keep the faith.
Things are gonna improve.
Stay in safe.
Things are gonna get better soon.
Keep the faith.
Let's all sing together in tune.
Through John's kind of ingenuity and skills, started crafting those into songs and really teaching the group a lot about songwriting, but also about music production.
I'd like to go and tell other people about you.
obviously Monday nights is the jamming side, but thanks to Anthony, you know, putting all this energy into it, built studio. This is all tuned in.
Whereas, you know, it's a bit like when you were doing Lockdown the other day. Well, that one, because there wasn't another voice, it was cool. You freestyled, it sounded great, you know.
I came originally with my husband, who's a musician from years ago, who wanted to meet up with other musicians. And I didn't sing, I just sat there and I applauded and encouraged people and cheered. And then we hit lockdown.
By March 2020, it was very apparent that obviously we were heading into lockdown, and the project which we'd started and had this brilliant year. So the first year we were doing the musical jam sessions every Monday, getting really, really good attendance. We'd just installed the studio, and then lockdown came. So we very quickly realised you're not going to be able to do jam sessions, but obviously there's an importance about getting everybody to meet together. And there are ways and bits of technology that we could use to record. And through people recording on their mobile phones, their laptops, whatever they had available, we were emailing things around. We even recorded some bits live on Zoom that went into some of the recordings, and we were doing lots of stuff like that for months.
During lockdown, we went online, and I suddenly found I could sing. I haven't tried singing since I was a teenager. All these lovely pop songs we used to know in the 60s. But now, I'm singing anything they throw at me.
The way it would work is we would just agree a BPM, agree a key, and then people would start putting things together. They'd put down little riffs and notes and melodies, and from that we'd start building the songs. And the outcome of that was the first 2 singles we've released through Cherry Red Records.
Hi, I'm Clinton. I've been tuned in from the beginning, about 3-4 years ago, I think, right? As they say, it's for people at a certain age and disabilities. I do suffer a bit of mental health issue. I have mental health issues for years. Music and meeting people, obviously, it's good for that, you know, interacting and playing music.
Went out today, I was expecting to secure the bike shop, get a chew outside and have a lock. No one had picked up the phone from my call before I leave my home. Never mind, could go up the wine clearing walking exercise. A few hours a day from here to town. Majority of shops are lockdown. Lockdown, lockdown, lockdown.
Lockdown came down, COVID stuff, which is a bit for everybody. But we managed to do things online, recorded some songs. Yeah.
Not my choice. Here it echoes of your voice. Echoes of your voice.
Lockdown knocked us back, but did it knock us back? Because we ended up using it to do records on Zoom of the type we would have done otherwise. So we all contributed on Zoom, you know, and worked remotely, and so that didn't stop us, to be fair. It was lovely when it was over and you could meet everyone again, you know.
Cause it's I and I and I and I and I, it's me and me and me and me and me. Cause it's I and I and I and I and I, and it's me and me and me and me and me. Cause it's I and I and I and I and I, and it's me and me and me and me and me. When everybody worships in the temple of me, what am I gonna do this year to set myself free? Everybody worships in the temple of me, what are we gonna do to make a global family? Everybody worships in the temple of me. What am I going to do this year to set myself free? Everybody worships in the temple of me. What am I going to do to make a global family?
as I say, at first it was about old blokes, but we started to get old girls, and we had quite a lot of younger people. So we now have men, women. It's totally inclusive.
My name's Sue. I play drums, and they told me about Tuned In. And then recently they told me a gig was coming up, which was last Friday, and I decided to come. And then people at that gig were saying, "Oh, come along, if you play drums, come on Monday, come on Monday." So here I am, the first Monday, and then I got on the stage today, which is interesting. I play drums. And obviously I can learn by watching, and then hopefully get on stage maybe a bit more. And yeah, that's it really, just grow and learn some things from other people.
I actually came along to rehearsals on Monday this week, and that's where I met some other performers. Everyone's been really, really kind and welcoming, made me feel really kind of at ease, and I'm just really excited. And actually what I'm going to try and do is come along to the jams on Monday nights if I can get childcare. Yeah, just watch out.
The Jura, it's kind of got a rough and ready sound. It's an earlier sound of the 30s, and you know, it just suited me. As Rumi says, don't seek it; it will come to you. Whatever you're looking for is looking for you.
And Nikos, you like D, didn't you? Right, let's tune this bass down to D. Let's get a nice, very low sound.
One thing with me, every time I play, it's for real. I'm never thinking, well, this is just a community thing. Any time I play, I mean it. Otherwise, I can't be bothered to play. It's like if I play football, every time I play, I mean it. I can't help but mean it. I can't just faff about, really. Got to be committed to it.
I found it sometimes helpful to practice in parks as opposed to annoying neighbours with a trumpet. Keep rooted as far as possible in the African American tradition. I like to refer to the that very deep tradition always, and not become a total copyist, of course, but to try and tap into that energy, and I view it as quite a spiritual thing personally.
Two definite wings, the live jamming sessions, and that's where the bands form and people create their ideas. Rodders sits down the front and teaches guitar, so complete beginners can come and learn bass or guitar, and you can come in here and learn about recording and make a record to a high spec in here. You don't even need, you could just maybe have some lyrics you want used. Whatever you do, we'll find we'll find something for you to do to make a record.
Hi, I'm Millie. I did a song called Misunderstood by Sentimental Millie, tuned in with Jar Wobble and all the amazing musicians here. I did, but never said. And it's really helped me through my life. I don't think I'd be here without music. Conversations and talk about my mental and physical conditions. My voice is loud and I talk too much. All of my family learnt instruments like the violin and piano. I got the recorder. Is there any hope? Or am I just a joke? I'm sentimental, really.
I've actually ended up as the acoustic guitar teacher for the club. So not only do I get the pleasure of teaching some very talented people, I've talked one of them into not only singing on one of my songs on my album and playing on the couple as well. I retired in the 70s from performing, but I found Tuned In 4 years ago and I started attending, but it also gave me the impetus to start writing and recording again, and I found it a very worthwhile and fulfilling experience.
I am leaving on the morning tide, saying goodbye. Don't you cry.
Working with young bands, I always used to try and kind of teach them a bit or give them some of the responsibility on the session, if it's making lists for compiling voice takes and stuff or whatever it was, or just explain some of the basics as you go along.
I tend to write nothing but sort of dystopian folk music. I do tend to write very long tracks because I was brought up in the prog rock era of Crimson and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So to me, a single track is half an album.
We've got some amazing volunteers, you know. We've got Tony, who's a colleague of Anthony's from the council, that comes in, and he's a classic creative that builds stuff in his shed and had a guitar band in the 80s, and he's fixing up some of our members' guitars and equipment and just helping out.
I used to be a musician in a rock band 30 years ago. I hadn't really played much since, just dibbled and dabbled and messed around with things. And it's actually given me a bit of purpose, and I've written some of the material here, which we're going to be performing tonight, which is good. And I made a load of new friends, absolute load of them. Met some really top musicians who you wouldn't even know were there. And I can't fault it, it's been absolutely marvellous. And I wouldn't be without it for all the tea in China.
We want the real thing, not reconstituted. We want the real thing, not reconstituted.
During lockdown on Zoom, I was encouraged to write song lyrics by John Klein, spinning plates with our diverse needs.
In my day job, I work in education and I work with deaf students. Now, I know nowadays you've got deaf raves and the noise is so loud they can feel all the vibrations, but my students deaf never heard me sing, and I don't know if they ever will.
recording sessions traditionally involve a lot of waiting around, you know. It's just, you know, you sit around all day waiting for your 1 hour, and, you know, we just can't, obviously we don't have the time to do that, we've only got a couple of hours, so it's just finding ways to work where we can generate and evolve ideas really super quickly. So that's been really, really interesting, you know. We try and make them democratic so everyone agrees with decisions that have been made, and it's quite amazing what's been possible. I think over last year we probably got like 20-25 pieces of music. We run one every couple of weeks, so yeah.
Well, I'm Ross, and I've been playing in lots of bands over the years. Been playing a lot of covers bands until I moved to London, and during the lockdown I was kind of missing playing in bands again. Ever since I can remember, I've been trying to learn to write songs, and it's a difficult thing trying to nail it, but I'm getting the hang of it now.
If I come up with a quirky little idea, like I have done recently, I take it along to Tuned In, and somebody says, "Oh, I like that bit, I don't like that bit," and we do a bit of songwriting.
Our dreams were shared one time.
It would be a miracle if I was inspired to write songs, because I just can't.
Until I lost my mind. That's when the nightmares.
My favourite music is blues, and what actually these sessions have done is pushed me into other areas, and so it's great, you know, just from a musical point of view, learning different sounds, different techniques, different chord progressions and so on, and it makes you think, which is great because you finish up being a slightly better musician than you were before you walked in. So, you know, it's a win-win.
You know, some of the people that don't have the experience, they're just not aware that what they're doing is really, really music, you know. Maybe that's one of the things I've learnt the most from Tuned In. It's not about trying to be a successful artist, or about trying to be a rock star or a celebrity or rich and famous or whatever. It's just about making music on a very fundamental level. In a way, it kind of reminds me of why I wanted to make music when I was like 14 years old. It was really back to that kind of early, kind of basic kind of impulse, which has been really nice to rediscover.
I think the whole thing that happens with this stuff, it takes on a life of its own. So it's really becoming more and more of a hub. And I don't know how it will grow, but it will grow. Everyone's very cooperative, working together. It's not competitive with each other. So it's very nice. You know, it's a lovely, very vibrant little scene, and it's like a club.
So many people in Merton and surrounding boroughs have had our mental health, our well-being and our souls enhanced through creating and performing with new friends. As the song says, every face fits, every race, every skin. Join in, drop in. This is Tuned In.
Guitar!